Imagine a world where death lingers in every corner, invisible but unstoppable. A silent killer sweeps through cities, leaving streets eerily empty, homes abandoned, and entire towns wiped from existence. This is not a tale of fiction but a horrifying reality that gripped Europe centuries ago. The Black Death, a pandemic so devastating that it reshaped the course of history, brought humanity to its knees. But how did it spread so quickly? What sinister force allowed it to claim millions of lives in just a few short years? And could such a nightmare happen again in our modern world? Stay with us as we unravel the chilling secrets of the Black Death. Secrets that continue to echo through time, warning us of the fragile line between survival and catastrophe. The Black Death, just the name conjures images of suffering, death, and societal collapse. It was a time when the world was gripped by an invisible enemy, one that showed no mercy. Centuries later, it remains a chilling reminder of the devastating power of disease. The eerie sight of plague doctors in their masks is etched into our collective memory. Between 1347 and 1351, this unprecedented pandemic swept across Europe, leaving an indelible mark on history. Entire towns were decimated, populations were reshaped, economies faltered, and the very fabric of society unraveled. The Black Death was not merely a moment in time. It became an era unto itself. For years, fear and uncertainty reigned as its relentless grip moved from town to town, leaving countless dead in its wake. The psychological toll was as profound as the physical destruction. The death toll was staggering, and those who survived faced the grim reality of a world transformed. The sights and smells of death became commonplace, with the air thick from the stench of decay. Life as people knew it had changed, and the future seemed bleak. Despite this, the story of the Black Death is not only one of suffering and loss but also of resilience and adaptation. It serves as a humbling reminder of the fragility of human existence and how even in times of growth, disaster can strike swiftly and indiscriminately. Yet, amid the despair, people found ways to survive and rebuild. This tale of devastation and endurance continues to resonate today, reminding us of the importance of understanding our past to face the challenges of the present and prepare for the future. The lessons of the Black Death are timeless. This catastrophic pandemic, which devastated Europe, was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. This deadly pathogen found a suitable host in rodents, particularly rats, which were abundant in medieval cities and villages. Thriving in crowded and unsanitary conditions, the disease spread primarily through the bites of infected fleas living on these rodents. Fleas would bite the rats, ingest the bacteria, and later jump to humans, transmitting the infection. As rats lived in close proximity to humans in filthy environments, the fleas had ample opportunities to infect their new hosts. The lack of proper waste management and basic hygiene practices only worsened the situation. The precise geographic origin of the Black Death remains debated among scholars. However, the most widely accepted theory traces it to Central Asia, where the bacteria may have existed in rodent populations for centuries. From there, the disease is believed to have traveled along the Silk Road, a vast network of trade routes connecting the East and West. This interconnected system facilitated the movement of goods, people, and, tragically, diseases. Merchants, travelers, and their goods unknowingly carried infected fleas and rats, accelerating the plague's spread across continents. The relentless movement of caravans and ships ensured the disease's unstoppable progression. While these trade networks brought prosperity and cultural exchange, they also became pathways for devastation. Once the plague reached Europe, it thrived in crowded cities and towns with poor sanitation, spreading rapidly. The dense populations and limited medical knowledge of the time made containment nearly impossible. The arrival of the plague in Europe marked the beginning of a nightmarish chapter in human history, reshaping societies and leaving an indelible mark on the world. The Black Death, caused by Yersinia pestis, manifested in three main forms: bubonic, pneumonic, and septicemic. Each form presented unique symptoms and carried varying degrees of mortality, making the disease particularly insidious. Understanding these forms is essential to grasp the full scope of the pandemic's impact. To fully comprehend the devastating impact of the Black Death on medieval society, it is essential to understand its three primary forms: bubonic, pneumonic, and septicemic plague. The most common form, bubonic plague, was marked by painful, swollen lymph nodes called buboes, which typically appeared in the groin, armpits, or neck. These buboes, filled with pus, could swell to the size of an egg, causing immense pain and discomfort. Additional symptoms included fever, chills, headaches, muscle aches, and debilitating weakness, often leaving victims bedridden. Despite its high mortality rate of around 50%, bubonic plague was less easily transmissible than the other forms, offering a slim hope for containment. Pneumonic plague, however, was far more contagious and deadly, spreading rapidly through populations. This form infected the lungs, leading to symptoms such as fever, coughing, chest pain, difficulty breathing, and bloody sputum. Its transmission through respiratory droplets made it exceptionally challenging to control, with a mortality rate nearing 100%. Pneumonic plague's swift progression left little time for treatment, making it a terrifying and relentless killer. Septicemic plague, the rarest and deadliest form, occurred when the bacteria entered the bloodstream, causing a systemic and often fatal infection. Symptoms included fever, chills, severe weakness, abdominal pain, and shock, which quickly escalated to organ failure. Often fatal within hours of onset, septicemic plague allowed virtually no time for intervention, leaving victims with little chance of survival. The Black Death's multiple forms, each with gruesome symptoms and staggering mortality rates, struck terror into the hearts of medieval populations who were powerless against its relentless onslaught. The lack of understanding about its causes and modes of transmission fueled widespread fear and chaos. This catastrophic pandemic, caused by Yersinia pestis, thrived in unsanitary conditions where rats and infected fleas lived in close proximity to humans. The disease's origins, though debated, likely trace back to Central Asia, spreading along trade routes like the Silk Road and devastating Europe in ways that reshaped its history forever. The most widely accepted theory points to Central Asia as the origin of the Black Death. From there, it is believed to have traveled along the Silk Road, a vast network of trade routes that connected the East and West. Merchants, travelers, and their goods unknowingly carried infected fleas and rats, enabling the plague to spread across continents. The interconnectedness of the medieval world, while fostering trade and cultural exchange, also provided an efficient pathway for the Black Death's relentless march. Once the plague reached Europe, it found fertile ground in crowded cities and towns with poor sanitation, allowing it to spread like wildfire. Its arrival marked the beginning of a nightmarish chapter in human history. The Black Death swept through Europe with devastating speed, claiming nearly half of the continent's population by the time it subsided. Entire towns were wiped out, and the social fabric of society was torn apart. In the aftermath of the plague, societies were plunged into chaos. With so many dead, labor shortages led to significant economic upheaval. Peasant revolts became more frequent as survivors demanded better living and working conditions. Traditional power structures were challenged, and the very foundations of medieval society began to shift, marking a transformative period in European history. The Black Death left an indelible mark on history, altering the course of European development and leading to profound social, economic, and cultural transformations. The drastically reduced population meant that resources became more abundant for the survivors, eventually sparking a period of growth and innovation. The horrors of the plague also left a deep imprint on art and literature, embedding its memory in the cultural consciousness. The Black Death taught humanity invaluable lessons about the significance of public health and the necessity for medical advancements. It exposed the vulnerabilities of human societies and underscored the importance of resilience in the face of pandemics. As we navigate the challenges of the present and future, these lessons remain critical in our ongoing efforts to protect and improve global health. As we close this chapter on the haunting legacy of the Black Death, we're reminded of how history often serves as a mirror, reflecting both our vulnerabilities and our resilience. The lessons from this devastating pandemic about survival, adaptation, and the unyielding human spirit resonate even today. But this is just one story among countless others that shaped our world. What other secrets lie hidden in the folds of history, waiting to be uncovered? Join us next time as we delve into another mysterious tale, where the past whispers its warnings and wonders to the present. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Unfolded Secrets, because every story has a secret waiting to be told.